Odd love or exotic love if you are into toxic love story. This story is between a director of an entertainment company and an actor turned film director who is struggling to make ends meet. Personally, I liked it. I know the bottom was toxic, but I loved him. Also be aware that on your first read you wouldn't be able to tell them apart, but the top is the one with brown hair and like a shade darker than the bottom. Highly recommend it. Also, I loved their chibis. So cute. The artist throws in cute chibis even though their relationship is toxic as hell. Number 2 is Canis. This one is a manga, but it's a story between a hat designer and a suspicious boy he saves on a rainy day. This manga has 3 parts: Dear Mr. Rain, Dear Hatter, and Canis the Speaker. I feel like this is one of the best yaoi manga ever created. The world will be ending and I will be like, oh wait, I need to recommend Canis to someone who haven't read it. It's that good, trust me. I loved all the parts. Highly, highly recommend. I feel like I need about 24 hours to talk about this, cause Mua. 3 Pizza Delivery Man in the Golden Palace. This manhwa is between a struggling pizza delivery boy and a Nepo baby with panic attacks. This manhwa used to be like the model green flag. Pretty boy top X the rich bottom troupe until it took a dark turn with the latest updates. I'm glad that they made up in the latest chapter. Anyways, highly recommend this if you want to read about mental health issues and healing type of stories. 4 Masterpiece. This story is between an assistant politician or the right-hand man of a politician and a masochist boxer who happened to own a piece of land wanted for development by the said politician. This manhwa is so unique from the art to the paneling to the storyline. Where will you see a movie like manhwa where the top is shorter than the bottom if you don't read this? Anyways, I highly recommend this one. One if my favourite at the moment. 5 Taming the Tiger. This is one of the earliest works of Brothers Without a Tomorrow, and they ate with the historical concept again. It's a story between a fierce nobleman and a butcher whom he employs for curing his little brother's illness. The story is so fluffy and cute, but there is a tragedy tag in this one since they both die at the end of the manhwa. But don't worry, in the side story they get reincarnated and they marry each other. Highly recommend it. 6 Vassalord. This is one of those mangas where you should read it more than twice to understand what's going on. It's a vampire story between 100 years old vampire and a church pastor, whom also Kinda-O works for him like a guard dog that he raised in his previous life. Something like that. I don't even know what was going on in this, but I remember I enjoyed reading it. There's also themes of cloning. The story will just impress you in many ways. Also, it has an anime, so you should check it out. Highly recommend this one. Even though this story looked like one of those that has no happy ending, it has a pretty good ending, I can assure you. 7 A Guide Thicker Than Blood or Bloodbound. In my opinion, this is one of the best guide verse manhwas. It's a story between a strong guide who, in quotes, lost his Esper and an amateur newly discovered Esper who happened to match him. The story is good. It has relevant side characters as well. There is villains like, where will you see all those in one yaoi? People kind of dislike the bottom in this because he has unlikable characteristics, but I don't care. I like him. Anyways, highly recommend this one. 8 Unromantic Romance. This is one of the most normal Omega verses. It's a story between a strong independent Omega and his puppy Alpha. The dynamic is the cutest in whole Omegaverse universe, I tell you. The story's development is good. There is good communication. There is no your typical aggressive and bipolar alphas in here. The story has also a pretty good happy ending, as the Omega gives birth to a daughter who looks exactly like her alpha dad. So cute. The alpha becomes the house husband and the Omega is working. Can't go on and on this. Highly recommend it. 9 Minmotion Syndrome. This one is also an Omega verse between a struggling college kid debtor who happens to be an alpha and his creditor who is an Omega. The story starts with pretty rough start, as the Omega is a bit aggressive, but eventually they get along. This manhwa also has one of the best side story. Oh, so cute and fluffy. It's all centered towards their child, and you would not ask nor complain. Matter of fact, it will also be your favorite side story. The side story saved this manhwa for real. Anyways, I highly recommend this one, especially the side story if you want a comfort read. 10 Under the Green Light. A manhwa with an age gap and mob theme between an older bottom and his obsessed younger top, who he meets at an orphanage when they were younger. The top in this manhwa is the OG yearner. The story is pretty good and the chemistry is there. What makes this one unique is mostly the storyline. Because where else will you find a green-eyed brunette with a big, who is totally obsessed with his older man? I know I said storyline. This manhwa has recently completed, so one of the more reasons you should start binging it as early as possible. Highly recommend this one. Last but not least, against all odds, this one is a love triangle between a police officer and a mobster who likes the police officer, who also happens to be his ex, and a college kid who likes the police officer, who also happens to look like someone that traumatized the police officer. I don't know what the artist in this one is thinking, but before the latest chapter, it was obvious who the male lead was, and I will die on the hill that the blonde is the endgame. Not from a bias, but it was obvious. I don't know why the police officer ran back to the mobster when he is the one in the wrong in this whole situation. Sorry, I needed to rant about this before recommending it. Highly recommend it. Okay, that's it for today's video. I wanted to make a video about power bottoms, as in power bottoms, but I realized how rare it is to find a yaoi with power bottoms. So I settled for a recommendation video about yaois with rich and powerful bottoms and broke tops. Not the same thing, but similar. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button.